Abigail's were alive. Do not say fuck or bugger.
Fuck the bugger.
Fuck or bugger.
Fuck all.
It should be okay for us to say bugger. That's not really.
Yeah, totally.
That's an okay thing. How offensive is the word bugger?
Bugger. There's
Over
no
there.
worse than bloody.
Okay. That answered my question and didn't answer my question.
Well, bloody is...
I still have no idea what you're talking about.
The word bloody
I
is
wanna-
basically like a comma. It's about...
A comma?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
basically how we use them.
Okay.
Just to break up the words more than anything.
Gotcha. Oh, I see what you're saying now. I get you now.
But yeah, I've always wondered, like, on the level of, like, because there's a curse word scale, right? There's, like, hell is at the bottom, and, like,
Hell
fuck
isn't a
or
curse word.
fucking cunt are, like, way at the top. Like,
Don't
those
tell
are
it's my
really
first grade
offensive.
teacher, okay, Hugh?
Yeah.
So, like, is bloody around the hell and damn level?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's like my first swear word level type stuff. Like when you're maybe like 10, you're like bloody, and then like a few years later, you're just like, whatever. I know more than that now.
Growing up, we couldn't say fart and we couldn't say butt. I thought, come on, everybody gets to say that. Nickelodeon gets to say that all the time.
Did you grow up in the town from Footloose, Matt?
In South Arkansas, so yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like, essentially, yeah. No Kevin Bacon, and our preacher is way more terrifying than John Lithgow.
John Lithgow in Footloose or John Lithgow in Dexter? Because there's...
Oh, Footloose.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's quite nasty in Cliffhanger too.
He is. He often plays bad guys.
True.
and in Shrek, he was terrifying.
Yes. I always thought I was convinced for a while that they were calling him Lord Fuckwad. Which may be
Isn't
a
that
deliberate thing.
what they're calling it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was on purpose.
Yeah.
It's kind of a joke, yeah. It's something that, like, it's really close to that.
Yeah, it's Farquad.
Yeah.
Way to unravel Shrek's deep and
Yeah, that's about
layered humor.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
on to Despicable Me.
All right, so you guys ready to start recording?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I signed into my
Matzinski.
my account, and so I got this little on my stream, on my video chat. I got a little crown next to my picture.
Ooh la la.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a crown on your.
All
on your
right. So
picture
look, I'm the
right
king.
now.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, record. All right. Cool.
Boom.
All right. Okay. So I will once again look at what tomorrow is the 29th. Wow, we're almost done with June, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nearly
Mm-hmm.
over halfway through the year.
Yeah, that's scary. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'll get rid of my existential nightmare, and then we'll get back to recording this podcast about video games.
Only a couple of months until I'm 36.
Oh, boy. We'll
Yeah.
have to celebrate in style, Hugh.
I'll probably stay in and play video games.
It's a good celebration.
My dad turns 60 the same month I turned 30 in August, and we're going skydiving. So
Whoa.
Fucking hell.
yeah,
Oh, cool.
that was the thing. He had to lose weight in order to do it. So we're also celebrating that. His
Nice.
doctor was like, no, you cannot go skydiving. You are too fat.
Let's do something that might kill you for your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. So
All right.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, June 29th, 2017, and you are listening to the Talking Games podcast. I'm Bobby Shortle. I'm here with Mr. Hugh Perry,
Hello.
Miss Kelsey Lavati,
Hey.
and Mr. Matt Wood.
Hello.
All right, we're back together. We booted Sam the hell out of here because she interrupted my ending last week, so she does not get to stay around
I was so proud.
anymore.
She was great.
She was great. No, she did an awesome job. Really good for a first
Awesome.
time on a podcast. Really good for a podcast in general, but especially really good for being a first time on the podcast. Makes me suspicious of Sam's nervousness about being on the show in the first place.
Yeah, I think she's a bit like Kelsey with like Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah.
Like
I don't play hard games.
she plays it like I'm so nervous, and then she's just like, boom, I got this. I got
She
this.
was so good. I loved it.
Yeah, she did a great job.
She's
She did
awesome.
a great job. And I promise that at some point we'll have both Kelsey and Sam at the same time, because there isn't some weird rule where only one girl is allowed to be on this podcast at a time, even though it seems like that is the way it's always been.
I didn't even notice, but it's true.
Just swap the girls in and out as we go. Not more than one. Only 3 white guys and 1 girl. That is the rule for every video game podcast.
Yeah, the sign says no girls, so you know.
All right. So, but to video games, because that's really what we're here to talk about. I have a really big problem, which is in the fact that I don't really have many games to talk about this week because I'm only still playing the same effing game. So
PUBG.
I have 21 games to talk
yeah,
about.
but they're 21 games all in one collection that came out on a mobile phone. So.
Oh no! I was talking about the other side, the 16-bit wars.
Oh yeah, but that's going to be in a kind of a news type of section. Though there's a good trivia point on that thing. We'll get to that in a little bit. We're going to talk about NES Classic and SNES Classic in a little bit. Hugh and I got to number 2 in Battlegrounds the other day, and we almost lost our minds. If you watch the end of our video, I'm literally freaking out. Like I am just cannot contain myself freaking out.
I think 15 of the last 20 words I said while we were playing were chill. Ah, chill, fucking chill.
I couldn't chill, but because I didn't realize I was listening to it back, and I was like, my voice is at a raised volume and pitch that it usually is not at in normal conversation.
Which, when you're trying to concentrate, is really distracting.
Yeah, you can see how well I do under pressure. I just start screaming. But yeah, it was good fun. It was weird because we didn't think we were even gonna do that well. Like we had this point where we were like, yeah, we're gonna die running anyway. We were running too long to get back to the circle, and then the circle just collapsed right with us in the center of it.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh shit.
We should have won that game. Like,
yeah,
if I had walked up that hill instead of going back down it,
mm-hmm.
I think I probably would have finished that last guy off, and we would have had
still pretty
chicken
good
dinner.
though. You had a really good game too. You had like 3 kills in that game.
I think so. Yeah, I think that might be my career high.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. But that's the only thing I've been playing. I have been succumbing to the Steam sale a little bit. I haven't spent that much money, but I've spent definitely money on games that I am definitely never gonna play, but I just want to have in my library.
You just gave Cody some fuel right there.
I bought like some like classic stuff. Like I bought all the Quake games and the Wolfenstein games and the System Shock games, stuff like that. I do want to do like a kind of like a list of shame or like video game university, like getting my education in games that I haven't played before. And so those are sort of the first person aspects of the ones that I've been picking out. But I got some stuff I do plan on playing. The stuff that came out this year, I got the Sexy Brutal, I got Thimbleweed Park, I got Stories Untold, which is like a modern text adventure. So I'm interested in playing all those, but there were definitely some like I definitely will play, 15 to 20 minutes of Quake. I don't think I will play the whole game, So
yeah, it's one of those things where you just play it and go, this isn't as good as I remember.
Yeah.
Leave it.
It's not 1996 anymore.
No. Oh, and I got the Half-Life games is the other thing that I got.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Now,
so
those are as good as I remember.
Yeah. Those Steam sales are dangerous.
They are.
Someone that doesn't even have Steam, every year I'm like, ooh, why am I doing this? Like,
yeah,
I can't even play this.
I bought a fair few things. I bought the Black Mesa, which is the fan remake of Half-Life, but in the Half-Life 2 engine.
Mm-hmm.
I got Black Desert Online, which Bobby also got.
Yes.
I got, what else did I get? I got Secret of Monkey Island 1 and 2, which I'll play for both for like the 7,000th time because I love dueling and insulting people about how they're dairy farmers. Yeah, so I've bought quite a few games. I think I've bought about 6 or 7. I can't remember the rest off my top of my head, but yeah, quite a few.
Oh, I got Gary's mod, which
Oh,
is like,
that's so much fun.
Yeah, I've never played it, but
I love
feel like it
Gary's
might be a
mod.
good game to play on a stream or something. So I got
Yes.
that. It's like a crazy like physics sandbox kind of thing. I got Wolfenstein: The New Order because it was $9. I got the Turing Test, which is a puzzle game, like a Portal like puzzle game that came out last year, which I really wanted to play and just didn't. It was very cheap, so I got that. And I got this Miscreated game, which is another like survival shooter game that Hugh and I will attempt to play and be terrible at. So,
Yeah, that'll be fun.
yeah, sure.
Have y'all seen the PlayStation sale? The Happy Hour?
There's
It's
some good
pretty
stuff on there
good
too.
too.
There's some good stuff
Yeah.
on there too. Yeah. Yeah, there's some good stuff. A lot of it I already own because I serially buy things throughout the year. So I end up being like, when these sales come around, I'm like, fuck, I really should have waited because I still haven't played Dishonored 2. I should have just waited until it was on sale.
I know. So I've had PlayStation Plus since like whenever PlayStation Plus started, and so if I ever buy a Vita, I always say that like one of these days I'm just gonna buy a Vita. I have like every game for the Vita.
You do. You really, really do.
Yeah.
Though I am the same, Matt, and I have a Vita, and I still never play it. So
that's the thing that slows me down. Like I'll never play it.
yeah, it's just tough when like because most of the games that come out on Vita, especially in the last 3, 4, 5 years, also usually come out on the PlayStation 4. Most of those things are like indie games that are cross-buy.
Yeah.
So I'm never like, oh, I really want to play this game on this little screen in my hands with the weird positioned analog sticks and the weird no double shoulder buttons where I have to hit the back of the touchpad to make it happen, instead of playing it on my giant 50-inch television, with a controller that I like using. So I always end up in that place.
Get a PlayStation TV and all your problems are solved.
Yeah, except that completely defeats the purpose, Matt.
I know.
I might as well just play it on the PlayStation 4.
I bought one on clearance and it's just sitting there, never to be used.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, right, it was a good idea. If people don't know, PlayStation TV was this way to play Vita games on your TV. It was like a Roku, but you could put like a Vita cartridge in there or download games to the PlayStation Store and play Vita games on your TV with a PlayStation 3 controller, I think, at the time. The problem was you couldn't play everything because a lot of games on the Vita used touchpad stuff and stuff like that. So they had to whitelist games, so you couldn't play every game. And then quickly after they released it, they really stopped releasing any Vita games.
Yeah.
So it became, and also no one needs another thing to play Netflix on their TV.
Right.
Like, I literally have things that are wrapped up in their cords in a box that play Netflix. I have like 4 things, so.
Yeah, I bought mine mostly to do that thing where you can like stream your PS4.
Yeah.
And it worked like garbage.
Oh, okay.
It was like really hard to. It was just pixelated and it looked poorly. It looked bad.
Yeah. But so I mean, that's all I've been doing. So I've only been playing that. Kelsey, you're getting back into Overwatch, huh?
Yeah. Because I haven't played it since like I started school again, like consistently. I mean, so I've been trying to get into it again so that I could kick Justin's ass. That's my goal.
Justin's not as
It's a
good
great
as he
goal.
likes to make out.
Yeah, Justin's terrible. All right, let's just put that out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna be like at his level, so then I could shove it in his face.
Yeah. I mean, you're speaking my language, Kelsey. So
This is the universal language.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not English. It's beat Justin.
I'm waiting for the inevitable text message I get tomorrow morning. I am good at Overwatch.
I'll show you.
So still maining Diva, right, Kelsey? Was that your main?
So far I've just been I've been meaning her. I've been trying to play with other characters because I feel like I'm like, how much could I talk about Diva? Like I was like, I need to find some other one.
You can never
So
talk too much about Diva.
Well, I just want to get better at someone, because I get really frustrated when someone takes Diva before me, and then I can't pick her anymore. Like I get so mad because I feel like they don't love her as much as I do, so it's not fair.
I agree.
I've been trying a couple others. Some of them are really hard, and I think it's just because I was never comfortable moving around with video game characters, because I was always very used to like a 2D platformer. And now that I'm getting more into these games, like I find my characters like looking everywhere, and like so it's hard for me to really like who is difficult? Widowmaker is very difficult for me.
Snipers in general on Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like Hanzo, like I never get my head around him.
And then there's even I've been trying with Anna because I like that you can kill and heal.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying with her, but she's kind of difficult too. And I wanted to try Zarya.
Yes.
I just don't want to mess up her name. Yeah, her too. But even her, like, I find it difficult sometimes. It depends. Like, I think if there's like a big group, like if it's like trying to surround people, I find myself struggling with her a lot. So I've just gone back to Diva. When I during the practices, I'm trying with other characters. Like I don't really touch McCree. I find him a bit slow. Soldier 76. I don't really, because I feel like for him it's like a regular first-person shooter character. So I'm
a
sort
terrible
of like,
McCree player.
Yeah, me too. I
sorry,
suck.
I lost it.
Bobby's frozen on my screen.
You're all black and white to me.
Oh.
He's not frozen, but
I like to ask if he's connected to the internet.
He's gone.
Me too, same thing. He's gone.
He's got a very nice, like, thoughtful pose going on right now, though. He's like,
He's not even on my screen.
Yeah, I'm looking at a Super Famicom controller.
But,
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I switch between, like, Diva, Soldier if I need to play somebody else. If I need to go on heals, I play Lucio because I'm terrible with Mercy.
Yes, Lucio. I find he's easier to, if you're not comfortable with healers. I think Lucio's easier to main than Mercy.
Yes, and he is. I think his nickname these days of Murder Lucio is well earned, because he will annihilate you because he's so mobile these days, and like with his boop and how strong his weapon is, he is difficult. There's Bobby.
Hey, yeah, that was weird. For me, all you guys turned black and white and then just disappeared. And I was like, I'm guessing this is on my end because everybody else dropped out at the same exact moment. So I was just like being as quiet as possible. So when I edit the podcast later, there isn't like me talking in the background too much. But anyway, Kelsey, that was very interesting what you said. I really liked it, and I listened to everything that you said. I honestly don't know where to take the conversation now because I don't know where you guys left off.
While you were gone,
okay,
we were talking about Lucio, like versus Mercy, and how Lucio is an easier character to main. And I didn't mention him, but I do play him if I have to pick a healer, because no one picks to be a healer, so I always have to volunteer.
It's true, but I like playing as healers. I like being.
I don't mind playing if it's Lucio, but like if I find with Mercy it's more difficult. That's what we were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, with Mercy, I mean, it's harder to defend yourself just because you can't just switch your weapon, right? It's not like Lucio where you can just shoot immediately, or with even Zenyatta or whoever,
exactly,
where you have like instant offense, you have to switch. But I think if you play a good Mercy, you can be one of the most important people on your team.
Oh, yeah,
like, you can really change the tide of everything.
Yeah, if you've got a good Mercy on your team, they can be the difference maker. And I think that's one thing about Overwatch not enough people realize. Like, if you've got a Mercy on your team, you need to protect the living hell out of them and like keep them alive, because they can turn games.
But that's it. That's why I never want to do Mercy, because I suck. So I don't want to like bring everyone down. Mostly.
That's fair enough.
We're gonna look at Kelsey's Overwatch profile. It's gonna say hours played as Mercy 300, like healing done 80,000 per match.
Yeah.
No, I never play as her, promise.
Top 0.2%.
Yeah. Kelsey's actually a professional Mercy player. Yeah, I haven't played in a while. I haven't played since the anniversary event, but I played even very little during the anniversary event. Yeah, I know I'll eventually go back to it, but that game for me has become PUBG. So that's the game. That's that game for me right now. The game I kind of like when I don't feel like playing something single player. It's the game that I play. That's kind of that spot that Overwatch always filled for me. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Cool. So I hope I look forward to your quest to be better than Justin. And I believe in you, and I think that you can do it. So, Matt, tell me about Sega Forever.
It's good intentions.
And nothing else?
Well, it's hard to really say it's terrible when it's pretty much free. You know, it's one of those cases of it's ported Genesis games to your phone, and I recorded a video. I haven't uploaded it yet or edited it or anything, but I went ahead and made a thing for the site where I just played through all 5 of them, and I think it's cool. I think it's just a case of I don't think this is for anybody. I don't think these are the best. I don't think it looks. It doesn't sound good. They don't play great, and it just seems like I wish there was a nicer way for them to put out Sega Genesis games. Like, go ahead.
Are they simulated buttons on the screen? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. But once again, at the same time, you're going to get that when you're playing on a phone or an iPad. You can. It does have Bluetooth controller compatibility. So if you have a controller for like your iPhone or iPad or something, you can go for it. And I say that, like who are these games for? Like, who is going to play, Phantasy Star 2 on their phone? But I had a friend last year that played through Chrono Trigger on their tablet. And so I'm like, well, I guess, there are people out there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool that those things are available, especially Comix Zone, which is so the 5 that they launched with are Sonic the Hedgehog, Altered Beast, Kid Chameleon, Phantasy Star 2, and Comix Zone. And I think Comix Zone is, I love that game. It's one that I had as a kid, and I think it's just one of the cooler. I love the aesthetic of like jumping from panel to panel and like having a hand on the screen draw bad guys for you to fight. I just think that's such a cool thing that I wish they would have done something with it, like for the Dreamcast, but they just kind of abandoned it. Sega's not really famous for making great decisions. But so you get like Altered Beast is Altered Beast, which sucks. Phantasy Star 2 is a great game, but once again, I don't really know who this is for, I guess, is what I'm trying to boil it down to. And my biggest gripe is that the Sonic port is the one that was already out on iPhone. They just kind of rebranded it with the Sega Forever kind of like aesthetic, but it's still the Christian Whitehead remake of Sonic the Hedgehog. So you can unlock, Knuckles and Tails, and you can do the spin dash, and it's in widescreen, which is fine, but come on, that's not real Sonic.
It's weird if you're gonna do like an emulation group to put out a remade version, like a retweaked version of the game. You would think it would just be the game like that. That's kind of why people want that stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know, like the way that it's set up, it's totally free. Like, you can play through all of Sonic the Hedgehog. You can play through all of Comix Zone or Kid Chameleon or Altered Beast if you're a sadist. You know, right off the bat, no. But I mean, every time like you go to a new level, they have like here, watch this 10 seconds of Game of War, or hey, don't you want to play Crazy Taxi? And no, I don't want to play Crazy Taxi. You know, and it's not actually that bad. It doesn't like interrupt. There's not crap all over the screen as you're playing. So, you know, if you want all that to go away, it's $2. The biggest thing that they kind of hide behind the paywall is the ability to save. So if you are trying to play Phantasy Star 2, you got to pay $2 because an RPG without saving is
hell
pointless.
Yeah, that would be a little rough.
Yeah, yes. You get, not only do you have to play through all of Phantasy Star 2, but you have to play it on your phone.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
I feel like that guy who left his NES on for like 20 years so we could finish Zelda.
Oh, wow. Did it just melt it?
I don't know. He actually... I can't remember where it was. There was a story last year. Some guy just left his Nintendo Entertainment System switched on for 20 years. And just, like, for years was just going back here and there to Zelda because he didn't want to lose his progress.
I remember totally... Yeah, you can save on Zelda. What's that guy's problem? As the battery pack. But yeah, I remember leaving the NES on when we had to go to school and stuff and getting home, and it was like 105 degrees. Like, it was like, the NES has a fever right now.
Yeah.
So, thumbs...
you know, if you want to check out my video, I go into like specifics. I think like Comix Zone is worth downloading for free, especially if you've never tried it. I mean, they're definitely playable, but the sound sounds terrible, which on like Phantasy Star 2 is a real bummer because that soundtrack is really good. Of course, you know, the one that has the most polish is Sonic the Hedgehog, but who hasn't played Sonic the Hedgehog? I don't know. I think it's hard to say thumbs down for free games, but, you know, I do wish they would have received a lot of polish. It does. This week has felt like the early 90s because it's like, oh, Sega put out something. Oh, now Nintendo just came out with something better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my youth.
So here you talked about PUBG already. You talked about Black Mesa a little bit. Tell me about Next Machina.
Yes. New twin stick shooter from Housemarque. The publisher brought you Resogun and Alienation and
Super
Dead
Stardust.
Nation. Yeah, and Super Stardust. And they've got another game coming out this year, with the name of which...
Matterfall.
That's the one.
Matterfall.
Yes. Yeah, really cool little like arcadey shooter. When I was playing the beta, I was kind of like, this reminds me a lot of like Smash TV, and reading about it, apparently they took a lot of inspiration from it. Just a really cool, fun game to sit down for like half an hour and play. It's got a good, like, you can play arcade mode, which is basically you just play for as long as you can and you get a score at the end of it. But then there's other like more tricky modes then where you earn coins as you're playing and your score puts you on a leaderboard. So, you know, you can play for, you know, just chill out and shoot things, or you can play and get a bit more competitive and try and beat your score type thing, which is always cool. I like games where you set a score and you go after it. Yeah, and it looks really cool. It's got a really like fun little like sci-fi look to it. The transitions between levels are really cool, where your guy sort of like runs up walls and goes in different directions, and the world sort of like spins around. And there's tons of little hidden things. Like there's each world has like a certain amount of secret levels, and there's like quite a few sort of like, each level has like some parts of the environments which are destructible, and there's not always stuff hidden behind them, but sometimes you'll shoot them, and there's each level has a certain amount of humans you can rescue, but then some of them might have secret humans like hidden in these blocks, and then there's other ones where you shoot the blocks and there's like a what looks like like an arcade machine behind it, and if you destroy the arcade machine, it opens up a portal to a secret level. So instead of going onto the next level, which, you know, your normal progression, you will then do that secret mission and then go on to the next level. It's just good fun. It's kind of like real sort of old school top-down shooter fun. And it's got a really cool sort of like electro synth pop soundtrack to it. So yeah, I mean, if you're into sort of like Housemarque's shooters, but with the being sort of like stripped back, but in a good way, and just them being a bit more arcadey, and also I think it has local co-op as well, which I can imagine.
It does.
Yeah, which you can play online if you do, you know, if you you do the game share and hand somebody a controller.
Yeah, I've seen some people play the shared co-op like on the same screen, and I'm sure it's the same when you're playing, like you said, with the share play, but it's like it restricts the camera movement to where you guys are on the screen. So the people I saw playing did not really enjoy it so much because they weren't able to sort of dictate, because a lot of that game obviously is knowing where the shots are coming from.
Yeah.
And to not be able to get your full range of motion can be tough. And also, I believe when the second player, their bullets are like pink or something, which is very close to the color of the projectiles coming at you. So I think there's some issues with like
that's exactly the same color. Yeah, because you get like little pink orbs fired at you. So that's a shame. Yeah. I mean, hopefully maybe they can tweak that so it like, even if they just add like a split screen element to it, so each person has the, you know, an optimal view. But yeah, I recommend it. It's, you know, not particularly expensive, and I think if you're a PS Plus member, you get like a few pounds/dollars knocked off it. So I'm having a good time with it. It's definitely something it'll be one of those games that'll be like a cool little palate cleanser for an hour. So yeah, I recommend it. If you're into that type of thing, definitely pick it up. It's a cool game.
Very cool. Yeah. And Resogun, which was a PS4 launch game, is free and has been free for a long time on the PlayStation Network. So if you like twin stick shooters, it's a cool game to play for sure. And now Eugene Jarvis helped out with Nex Machina, and I believe he worked on Smash TV.
Oh, there you go then.
That's cool.
They kind of brought him in, and you also did you platinum Horizon Zero Dawn?
No, this is a funny story. Okay. So I was
did you finish it?
No.
Okay.
That's the thing. I was sat in work the other day eating my breakfast, and I looked at my phone. I was like, "Oh, I've got a few emails," and it was like, email from PlayStation. Congratulations on platinuming Horizon Zero Dawn. Here's your rewards. And I was like, what? So there's this code in it, like for like redeeming. So I got like a dynamic theme for that you get when you get the platinum trophy. I was like, out of curiosity, how many of the trophies do I have? So I checked, and I've only got like 30% of the trophies. So I've no idea what happened there. So I'm just
they know who you are here. They know you're an up and coming YouTube personality.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna quit playing it now. So more fool them.
Doors are opening wide for you, Hugh.
Yeah. Means minimal effort in my gaming. So yeah, that was quite funny. That was.
Nice.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
I just Eugene Jarvis. He does work on Smash TV, but he also made Defender and Stargate, Robotron 2084, Smash TV, Total Carnage, the Cruisin' series. So there you go.
Some serious pedigree.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Housemarque definitely very inspired by him. I mean, obviously, Resogun is very much like Defender. It's a Defender type game for sure.
Yes.
So let's talk about this SNES Classic, huh? Let's talk about it. So obviously we talked a couple of months ago about the possibility of it and what we thought we wanted from it and what games we'd want on it, and I think that most of those games didn't happen, or a lot of the games happened, but a lot of like the kind of like, oh, maybe they'll do this games did not happen.
Yeah.
But one very interesting game is happening on the SNES Classic. So it's going to be $80 American. It's coming out September 29th, I believe is the date.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm guess that's what I remember. And it's the same. It's a little like hand-sized box. This time looking like the Super Nintendo in America, and then looking like the Super Famicom in Europe and in Japan, which we get screwed again on the design of that system just for our entire.
We called it the Super Nintendo.
Yes,
as well.
you did, but your design is the Super Famicom design.
No, I think the candy buttons.
Yeah, the candy buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky.
So yeah, very lucky. So that's coming out, and it's coming out with 21 games. And I'll list them off, and then we'll talk about how we're feeling about it. Contra 3: The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, F-Zero, Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Course, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario World, Super Punch-Out, Super Metroid, Yoshi's Island, and the really strange and interesting one, Star Fox 2, which is a game that was never released. The ROM has sort of been out there for a long time, and people have seen footage of it, people have played it. But this is the first time it's getting an official release, which technically makes it a new game for 2017, which is like a pretty insane idea. And I was saying it's got to be the longest development to release cycle in history. And it's getting released by its original publisher, like, you know, in a specialty form. It's a very interesting thing. So that makes it kind of different from the NES Classic, right? Which was just all games that obviously have been released before. But essentially, it's the same type of thing. It's going to be a little hand-sized system with cords that are very, very, very short. But Matt, you were excited about the controllers for a particular reason.
Yeah, it's Nintendo's remaking Super Nintendo controllers that look like, you know, it's hard to tell with the size of what the shell of that console is, but it looks like the ports are Super Nintendo ports.
It does look like that, yeah.
Yeah, which that could be very, very cool. That I've always thought it would be awesome if Nintendo could just remanufacture a lot of their older things, like that. You know, I know that's just dreaming because like Nintendo's not good at manufacturing the stuff they're putting out currently. So
yeah.
But yeah, I thought that'd be cool if, you know, I can buy brand new Super Nintendo controllers. That would be very nice. I would almost buy one just for the controllers.
You're gonna have to sit 2 feet from your television.
The cords are 5 feet this time.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so 2 feet longer.
Wow, they're spoiling us.
It's still not long enough.
No.
Yeah, but there's two of them. There's two of them.
There's two of them in the box, which is very cool. Yeah. And it's a great lineup of games, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a wonderful lineup of games. It has all of the heavy hitters that you would want to come out on a Super Nintendo system, including some of the big third-party stuff as well. I think having big RPGs like Final Fantasy 3 on there is a very, very cool thing. Yeah. We don't have Chrono Trigger, which I think is probably the one that I would say is like the biggest missing thing. Like, if you were going to write that pantheon, if you're going to write that top 20 Super Nintendo games, right? Sure. Chrono Trigger would definitely be on there. A lot of these games would also be on there. I would sacrifice maybe one of those Kirby games for Chrono Trigger.
Dream Course can go.
Yeah, like
Superstar's cool.
Yeah, Superstar's awesome. Like one Kirby game, great. Like I am totally down for that. But like we don't need two Kirby games. But again, I don't think obviously that wasn't the trade-off. It wasn't like, oh, we can get rid of this Kirby game and put Chrono Trigger on. They probably just couldn't make the deal, right?
And as far as Square games are concerned, you're getting Mario RPG, Secret of Mana, and Final Fantasy 3. So it's like it's one of those days of three wonderful things. Why couldn't it be four?
Yeah. I mean, I would also say I'd probably swap out Secret of Mana for Chrono Trigger as well. Not that I'm ever going to play through Chrono Trigger all the way on this thing anyway. I'm just complaining to complain. But that was the only thing on the list. I was like, I wish that was there. But overall, I mean, it's an amazing list, and it showcases two things. One, how great the Super Nintendo lineup is in general, because they're some of the greatest games of all time. And B, just how lazy they really were naming those games, just putting the word Super. There's like 10, half of the games have the word Super in front of them.
When the N64 Classic comes out, you'll have the same problem. It's just they all end with 64.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Thank God they didn't do that with GameCube.
Yeah. Super Monkey Ball Cube.
Yeah, they did it. They did do it with the DS though, just in like clever ways, where all the subtitles would be like a D and an S word next to each other. Like Dawn of Sorrow for Castlevania, stuff like that. They would do stuff like that. But Matt, so excited about this? Happy with the lineup?
Well, I mean, this is gonna make me. It's awesome, and having Star Fox 2, I'm real curious because I mean I've played a ROM of Star Fox 2, and I'm pretty sure that there's no way they can get away with just we just dumped this ROM that's already been out there. There's going to be something touched up about it, and I'm real curious about what that looks like. It's kind of like about 5 years ago, people have been playing the ROM for Mother. That was, another game that Nintendo had completely finished. It was just at the end of the NES's life cycle, and they never released it. But then, a few years ago, they re-released it as Earthbound Zero. And, it was essentially the same thing, but there was one or two minor touches on it. So I am curious about what Star Fox 2 looks like as a finished product. That being said, I'm probably not going to buy one, mostly because I own most of those games already, and the ones that I don't have that's on that list are games that I'm trying to get eventually. But I've already made a deal with my friend Ty. He wants one because he doesn't have a Super Nintendo, which if you don't have a Super Nintendo, $80 for this is nothing. Trust me, these were all excellent games.
Yeah, somebody tabulated like if you wanted to buy Super Nintendo and all these carts, it would cost you like $886 or something like that. Yeah,
a Super Nintendo on its own is like $80. It retails for about $80 now.
Yeah,
and that's used. They'll be yellow, and I have like all the Photoshop pictures of if they wanted this thing to look real, it would look like this, and it would be moldy looking. But I made him a deal, my friend Ty. If he buys one, I'll give him $5 if it comes with a poster, because I love the poster that came with the NES Classic. I have that. I have that one hanging up. I want a Super Nintendo poster too.
That's very cool. Kelsey, are you excited about this? We talked about it before, and you seemed excited when there was rumored.
I'm excited. I want to play all the games. I like the concept of this because for people like me, like I wasn't born, so I never had the chance.
All right, rub it in.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to be burned again. Like I saw the announcement, and then all the games, and I was like, I don't want to get so excited for it and then be burned again, because it really hurt me last year. Or at the beginning of the year. It's all mixed up to me, but it really hurt me.
It does seem like there are actually going to be pre-orders this time, which there weren't
I hope
last time around.
There are.
There's already pre-orders in the UK. In the UK, there's pre-orders already. There's none in North America yet.
Wait, Hugh, you have one pre-ordered?
Yeah. I got an email from the Nintendo UK online stores and saying pre-order it. So I was like, okay, I will. So, yeah.
It's kind of one of the things, if I could pre-order it, I would pre-order the European one just because it's different.
Well, if you're desperate.
I know. I'm not that desperate. I'm not. I can't. I am, but I'm not gonna. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kelsey. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Kelsey. Go ahead. Which of these games are you most excited about playing?
Metroid.
Yoshi.
Okay. Well, sorry. Have you never played Super Metroid?
Not that one. I know. I wasn't born.
That is no excuse.
Every Nintendo system that's come out in the last 12 years has had the ability to play Super Metroid on
You
it.
can get it on a 3DS right now.
No, I couldn't get the Metroid games on my 3DS because you had to have the new 3DS to download the. See, I already thought about all this.
I'm sorry.
Yes, thank
She already
you.
thought about the excuses she was going to give you, Matt, about why she didn't play Super Metroid.
There are
And
ways.
I played like mods of other games, like Super Mario,
Mm-hmm.
but anyone who listens to this podcast knows that my computer is a disaster, and every time I try to play something on my computer, that's why I didn't even look at the Steam sale, because I'm like, I don't even want to be tempted.
Kelsey, I'm pretty sure your computer can handle Super Metroid.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna...
But I'm just scared.
Pretty
Like, I don't want
demanding.
it. I don't know, because it's whenever I use my my internet too much,
Mhm.
and that there's like right now we're all moving on the computer, right? So there's more information coming in, so my computer is freaking out.
Mhm.
And so every time I do something like that, my computer freaks out, and I just don't want to push it. She's dying already. But that's why I would want to get this, because at least like I could play these games without having to download a mod, without having to like search for it, like buying this old system and buying the game,
Mhm.
like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, I love Metroid, obviously, so I want to play this one, obviously. And I got really excited when I saw it. It was the only, like, my eyes went black. I was just, I
What
need
is it
it.
about Metroid announcements in you?
Yeah, very weird things happen
She
to
goes
Kelsey's
a bit
body.
X-Files.
Yeah.
But to be fair, as far as what Kelsey could have said with regards
true.
to that was kind of, PG-13, thank God.
It was much more family friendly.
I'm still embarrassed, so I've been trying to watch my words.
Well, I gotta tell you, I've been working on a highlight trailer for the YouTube channel, and that clip is definitely in there.
This week on Involuntary Bodily Functions with Kelsey Lavati.
So yeah, but Super Metroid is definitely the one for me where I'm like, even though I played that game a ton, it's the game I play, or at least replay some of the most.
Yeah.
It's a game I'm coming back to.
I still have my cartridge.
Oh, really? Wow.
Mhm.
I do not. Karen and I were playing. I played a little bit of OG NES Metroid the other day. And I had the thing where like I played Super Metroid before I ever played Metroid. So I played Super Metroid and loved that game, fell in love with that series. And then when I went back to playing Metroid, it was kind of like, it was like very tough to go back to playing that game, so, but it's amazing to go back and play that game and see all of the roots and the hooks of the things that are to come, even in Super Metroid and beyond, It's
I
amazing.
love in Super Metroid when you revisit some of the areas that you have visited in Metroid. It's so cool.
Mhm.
Guys, Nintendo's neat.
It is, and Metroid is a very, very good video game.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is.
Hugh, you mentioned Yoshi's Island, and this is actually kind of an interesting fact, is Yoshi's Island and Star Fox have never been released on Virtual Console because of the Super FX chip.
Really?
They've never been able to correctly emulate those games for Virtual Console. Or they haven't tried.
Right.
But yeah, as far as like you can get on the Wii U, you can get the Game Boy Advance, like Super Mario Advance, Yoshi's Island, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as Yoshi's Island and Star Fox are concerned, it kind of at least hints that there's something going on inside of there that's a little bit more than just essentially a Raspberry Pi.
It's also
Yeah.
nice
It's exciting.
to
Sorry. You go ahead. Sorry.
have Star Fox released in this country as Star Fox, because when I was a kid, it was Starwing. Like, I've always called it Star Fox because that's like, I've just always seen it, like, because all the Nintendo magazines you could buy over here back then were just American published. Like, you get like Nintendo Power, and it would just be shipped over here, and it would be calling it Star Fox. And I can remember, like, after the game came out, and I'm just like, why are they calling it this? It's not called this. What the fuck's going on? So yeah, it's gonna be nice to actually like have Star Fox be Star Fox. It's a tiny little thing, but you know, details.
Wasn't the 64 one called Lilac Wars?
Yeah, I think that was in Japan though.
Okay.
If I remember right.
I just remember it having like a way weirder name. Like,
Yeah.
why is it's called Star Fox?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. A lot of like you said, Matt, like some big games too. Super Mario RPG, Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy 3, Earthbound. Like those are sizable games. And you know, when you get it, I mean, there were a couple obviously on the NES Classic as well. There's Final Fantasies and stuff on there, but like this is where you start to see the difference, I think, in the two platforms and how like the even the smaller experiences have more breadth and complication than the ones on the NES.
NES Final Fantasy sucks. It's so tedious.
Speaking of tedious, I'm definitely not going to play any Super Ghouls and Ghosts because
I won't. The Genesis. It's one of those few cases. It's also difficult.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, that game is hard.
Oh yeah.
The Super Nintendo one had a few problems. The Genesis one was definitely the superior Super Ghouls or I think it was just called Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis. But yeah, it's also a big, incredibly hard, difficult, pain in the ass game.
We'll just get Kelsey on that one. She'll speed run it.
Yeah,
like that. She's got it down.
I'm not that good.
Lies.
I don't want people disappointed in me.
So other than Metroid, Kelsey, any games on this list that you're really looking forward to?
Yeah, I want to play A Link to the Past because I played the one that came out a couple of years ago, A Link Between Worlds.
Yes.
And I really, 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 really like that game. So I really want to play. Sorry?
You will love A Link to the Past then because they're essentially the same game.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So I'm excited to play that, like just to play the original. I want to play Yoshi's Island, obviously.
Yes,
I didn't say it before because you guys guessed right away, but I do want to play it. And I'd like to Secret of Mana. I've never even I don't know if this is wrong, but I've never heard of it until I looked at this list. So it's just like games that I've either slightly heard of, maybe played when I was at someone's house, but I would like to play them for myself and see what everything, like Mario Kart, the Super Mario Kart. I would love to play that. Is it okay? I don't know, Matt.
It is fun. It is fun. It's just it's a different beast than like Mario Kart now.
Yes,
it's
not aged well. Like when you're playing the original Mario Kart.
Shut your mouth, both of you. Super Mario Kart is still a great game.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love that game. I love that game.
It's real fun.
Do not get me wrong with that. And like the fact that this thing comes with 2 controllers and you can play Mario Kart split screen on it. That is fucking awesome. But it has this weird thing, whereas like you play Mario Kart now, and when you turn the stick, you feel like you're turning the kart. Whereas in the original games, it kind of feels like you're turning the world.
Oh yes,
which is a bit fucking weird.
It is weird, but it was like awesome. It was like the magic they did with that system.
Yeah,
because there's no way that you would ever think that box was supposed to do what Mario Kart did. You know, that sort of like behind the back, like fake 3D thing it was doing was like revolutionary at the time.
There's original battle modes as well, which is
awesome. True. Yeah.
It's also the last time we saw Donkey Kong Jr. Never seen him since.
Rip Donkey Kong Jr.
Who knows? He might be an Odyssey. You never know.
I've always heard the belief that Cranky Kong is like Donkey Kong from the old games, and Donkey Kong Jr. is now the one that wears the business tie with his initials on it.
Yeah. That's the theory Kong lore.
It's a bunch of BS.
Donkey Kong lore. Secret of Mana is an interesting one to bring up, Kelsey, because like I think the reason why you never heard of it is because all the other games here either belong to a current franchise that still has games that come out, or had a lot of installments, right? Like,
Yeah.
like something like Contra is something that is like just synonymous with old school gaming. So it's something that you've either seen or heard of or played yourself. But Secret of Mana is a very interesting game, and like it was a very influential game on a lot of future developers. But it's not a game that gets talked about a ton.
It's a really good soundtrack.
Yeah, good soundtrack. Like, and if you liked a game like Bastion, which is a game that came out a few years ago, it's heavily influenced by Secret of Mana. It's what I'm looking forward to going back to, because I have not much memory of playing it. I definitely played it, but I just don't. It's something that kind of like I probably played like most games when I was a kid, 2 hours of it, and then was like, okay, what's the next thing I'm gonna play? You know, so.
And I mean, games looked great on the NES Classic. I can't wait to see some of these games through HDMI on this thing.
Yeah,
yes,
they're going to be really colourful at least, that's for sure. Because they were colourful back then.
I'll pre-order one.
Yeah, you will.
We've convinced him. We've convinced him. So let's do some listener questions before we get out of here, huh? So Bad Knee Groon wants to know: have you ever purchased a gaming system, handheld or console, for one game or game series? Hugh.
I was thinking about this today, actually. I don't think I ever have specifically, but there have been games that came out that retrospectively I probably would. Say, like, if like The Last of Us was a launch game for PS3, I probably would have bought a PS3 on the back of that. I mean, Nintendo Switch, I was going to get one anyway. The fact that Zelda was out on launch, pushed me a bit more. I wouldn't, but hypothetically, I would do it, yes. But in reality, in practice, no, I haven't.
So that was a 5-minute way of saying the word no.
Well, I did say I was thinking about it, so I just gave you my train of thought. So it's the last time I carry you in a game of PUBG.
Oh, carry me. All right, Hugh. We'll talk about this later. Kelsey, what about you?
A pretty similar response. Like, I was thinking about this all day. I think for me, like, my parents would have bought Nintendo products because I liked Nintendo games, and I tended to lean to the Nintendo games because they were more targeted at, like, kids my age when I was young. And then when I was looking to buy either Sony or Microsoft within the last 5-6 years, I went to Sony because I didn't like the games that were exclusive on the Xbox. And when I was younger, the Xbox was always more of like a sportier, in quotation marks, kind of game. Like, they had a lot of the sports games. And when I used to go to Toys R Us, like, Sony always had like cool games playing on the screen. And then Microsoft always had like racing or like FIFA and stuff. And so I've always leaned towards Sony. And I guess I bought it for the games. But
well, obviously, Kelsey, of course you bought it for the games. It's a one game. Both you and Hugh have spent 5 minutes not answering this question.
I did answer the question. I said I would, but I never have.
I sort of did.
I wasn't like a politician where I was like, games consoles are something that we really need to work on.
Matt, what about you?
Game Boy Color Pokemon game.
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
Where's your pithy response to that, Shortle?
No, he answered the question. I have no pithy response. He actually answered the question. But
I also wanted. I mean, that's usually the thing, right? Like, you end up buying a game, or like, if you don't buy a system at launch, it usually does take that one game to finally say, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna buy this. And I remember, it's happened numerous times. And the reason I bought a PS3, and this is gonna sound weird, but I thought Little Big Planet was really cool, and I wanted to play Little Big Planet. And yeah,
the game was really cool, so that doesn't
was
sound
really
weird.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have. When I got my PlayStation 1, the first time I played Resident Evil, I borrowed my dad's friend's PS1 off him, and I was like, I have to have this game and this console. So, yes, I did. I bought my PS1 because I wanted to play Resident Evil.
So that first answer was even more of a waste of time.
Shut up.
For me,
I like this answer.
For me, yeah, it was the original Xbox. I bought it for Halo. That's the only reason I bought it. And it wasn't anything where I was like, oh, I love first-person shooters or whatever. It was just like I'd heard so much about the game, and I was like, I just got like a wild hair, and I wanted to buy the system and play this game Halo. And then it ended up being like a pretty good console purchase for me. I played a lot of games I really loved. KOTOR is one of my favorite games of all time at this point. But yeah, I bought it just for Halo. So
you come for the Halo, you stay for the Blitz, the Time Sweeper.
No, it's Blinks the Time Cat, isn't it?
You know what? The fact that I mentioned it sort of is more attention than that game has gotten in 10 years. So,
our next question from MZODRO or MZadro, I'm gonna guess that's what it is. On Twitter, thoughts on video game tattoos, and would you ever get one? I have 3: Joker from Arkham City, Triforce, and Nurse from Silent Hill. I can answer it quickly for myself. I don't want to ever get a tattoo ever of any kind. So the answer for me is no. But if I was going to get one, video games would be, I guess, it could get anything else, but I can't imagine ever getting a tattoo. So, Hugh, what about you?
Much the same answer, really. I've many times thought maybe I should get a tattoo, and then spent weeks and weeks thinking about it, and then gone, no, I can't think of anything that I really want to commit to having on my body for the rest of my life. So I've just never really been decisive enough. So yeah.
All right, there we go. Kelsey, what about you?
I have a tattoo, and I've thought about getting another one. This one's from Digimon. It's not video game related, but I've thought about getting a video game one. I just, like, I really want one for Pokemon. Just because, like, I feel like it really did impact my life in a lot of ways. Like, if there needs to be a reason for getting a tattoo, I don't think there needs to be one. But for me, I think Pokemon is really impactful. I just don't know what exactly I would get. I don't really like having my tattoos, like, that you know right away what it is, unless like you know what it symbolizes.
I've got an idea for you. What you should have is, what's that Pokemon across your shoulders, and then gradually get like Pokemon silhouettes on your back, and we can all play the what's that Pokemon on Kelsey's back game.
I think just a Magikarp on your forehead is probably the way to go, really.
Yeah. People
and as you get older, personality.
Yeah, exactly.
Have it turn into a Gyarados.
But you have to get like 400 of them.
Yeah. All right, Pokemon.
But, yeah, I've thought about others, like Samus's helmet. Like when I'm really like trying to be funny, I always make a joke that I'll get like a pinup of Diva like along my arm, but like I won't actually, because I think that would really hurt if I do it all at once. But I've seen like a lot of people with like tattoos, and I love tattoos, so I'm all for it. Like I'm definitely going to get one in the future. I just don't know what yet.
All right, Matt, what about you?
Video games, not yet. Comic books, I have a Fantastic Four tattoo.
Nice.
So I'm not against tattoos. I have 2, but I haven't really seen the video game that has made me. I've always liked the Foxhound logo from Metal Gear, but that looks cooler on a T-shirt than I think on me forever.
Yeah.
So,
but I like the pronunciation, Matt, of Metal Gear. That was good.
Yeah.
You had the
Metal
What did I say?
You had like the David Hayter.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah. You said Metal Gear.
Snake. Yeah,
Like it's a
Metal
question.
Metal Gear. Like no human would ever say those two words.
Well, it is a very stupid group of words. Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Solid. Oh.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah, I don't know. There's not like Fantastic Four. I got that tattoo because it's one of those cases of I was 24 when I got 25, and I was like, I've been reading Fantastic Four comics since I was 10, and the odds of me ever getting out of that, it seems very unlikely. And while I definitely will probably be into video games for a very, very long time, I can't think of a specific thing. And I also don't want to get something that I've seen. Like I don't want to get something that like I've seen a billion people get before. I want to get something like that's like Kelsey, you mentioned that you thought like the subtle tattoos where like not everybody knows exactly what it is, but those that do get it are like, oh, hey, that's cool. Yeah.
Like for me, for my Digimon tattoo, like I didn't get an Agumon on my wrist, right? I got the Crest of Courage because I just think like one, it was for courage, like when I look at my wrist, but it was also like as an homage to my favorite cartoon as a kid. It wasn't Pokemon, it was Digimon. I liked it more.
Kmart Pokemon.
Yeah. You like
But
Kmart Pokemon?
Not everyone knows what it is, so I like that. Like even for Harry Potter, the outline of the castle is one that I want to get. Like I don't want to get a full on
Cool.
Lightning bolt. I would just get the outline of the castle along my rib cage. That's the next goal that I have. It's not video game related.
Hang on, you're worried about a tattoo on your arm hurting, and you want one on your rib cage, where there's very little flesh.
No, I know this one was very hard too for all the wrist bones, but it's because here it would go along my arm, so it would be a bigger tattoo, and the amount of detail and lining and colors that they would have to do to give me like a half sleeve would be like hurtful, and at least smaller ones with black lining where they don't have to a lot of detail doesn't hurt as much. That's what I've thought of.
Just do it after a drinking session with your cousin.
If I got a Star Wars tattoo, could I call that a video game tattoo?
I mean, they're tangentially related.
So if I get a TIE Fighter, I'd be like, oh yeah, I love the game TIE Fighter.
Exactly. Even Kelsey's tattoo is like tangentially related to video games. There has been a video game with Digimon in it, so I guess you could technically.
Yeah, I've played them.
I'm sure you have, Kelsey. I don't doubt your commitment. Trust me.
Are they good?
The one on the DS that I had was all right. I remember enjoying it, but I thought it was difficult. So it kind of took me a while because it's not as easy as Pokemon, I found. Like I was obviously comparing them, and I thought that game-wise it was more difficult. There was one on the PS4 that was released last winter, maybe, and I didn't buy it because it was still $74, and I was like, okay, this is a bit much for a Digimon game. So I was like, no matter how much I love it, I spent less on my tattoo than I would have on that game. So.
If a person with a Digimon tattoo says your game is too expensive, you probably have priced it incorrectly.
You should make it more accessible.
And now she's playing Yokai Watch instead.
Yeah.
I liked Yokai Watch.
It's a good
Yokai
game.
Watch is cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Get a tattoo of it.
Yeah. Just do it,
You
Kelsey.
can get a Yokai Watch.
Yeah. You get the watch.
All right. I think that's gonna do it for talking games for this week. I do want to say, and he wanted to bring up in more in depth, but we have to talk about this another time. We have been increasing our video output dramatically. Streaming and recorded. Matt's first episode of Level Select is out. The second episode is coming out this weekend. Bring in your 4th of July weekend with Matt's Level Select.
It's worth watching for the intro alone. Like the whole thing is good,
if you
but
only,
the intro alone
watch
is
the intro.
fucking spectacular. So bravo there,
totally.
Matt.
So if you don't subscribe to the YouTube channel already, subscribe. It's youtube.com/talkinggamesvideos. You can go there and check that out. We have lots of videos. Videos basically going up every day, if not multiple videos going up every day. Videos from me and Hugh and Matt, but also from Kelsey. Not Kelsey yet. Shame on Kelsey. She hasn't put any videos up yet.
Yeah, she's too busy educating herself. Weirdo.
We have a plan. Me and Justin have a plan.
I heard. So really funny. So I'm going to slightly spoil what you guys are talking about doing an Overwatch thing, right? An Overwatch series. And he's like, we're going to call it a guy, a girl, and a payload. And I was like, oh, that's a really timely like reference, Justin. He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, is it not a reference to a guy, a girl, two guys, a girl in a pizza place? He was like, I've never heard of that before. And I was like, what? I was like, are you serious? You came to this like naming convention and you've never heard of that before? So I sent him a screenshot of the show.
As you look at his bookmarks and realize he's got like 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah.
You can go both directions.
Yeah, you can go both directions. But also videos. Justin did put up a solo stream the other day, a what is for Next Machina. But Sam and Cody both are both doing a ton of work. Friday the 13th videos. They're doing Heroes Hideout together. Friday the 13th videos usually together as well. Sam is doing Lady's Choice, where she plays part of a game every week that she's interested in. The most recent one she did was Never Alone, which was a cool story-based game that came out a few years ago. Yeah, it's a really good game.
Agreed.
And she also did a What Is of the Bridge that came out this week as well. New Monster Closet is out. Justin and I's horror series. PUBG with Hugh and I is out as well. But a lot of stuff going up. That's kind of the point. So please subscribe and like the videos. And as well, we became affiliates on Twitch, which opens up some interesting opportunities for us. I don't quite understand how all the cheer stuff works yet. There are these bits you can buy and cheer the stream, and we get part of the money. It's kind of complicated. Here's an uncomplicated thing. You can now subscribe to our Twitch channel, and in Twitch terms, that means you can like give us like $5 a month, to support the channel. Now, if you're a Twitch Prime member, you have subscriptions to use that come free with your Twitch Prime members. So you can use those on us if you so choose, or other streamers that you love. The point is, any money that comes in to any of these video game stuff is going to be split equally between everyone who's doing videos. So which can be used to either directly monetarily, or if we want to buy mics together, whatever we want to do. But that's where all that money's going to go. I want to be really, transparent about that. So yeah, it's cool. We're really excited about it. And we want to know too, what you would want to see us play. That would be really cool. I know that
nothing scary. Nothing scary.
Definitely stuff scary. Well, that's Kelly. So you're backing yourself into a corner, because not only play anything scary is what got Justin in the situation he's in right now, where he's having to play 3 hours of a horror game every week. So you're by saying that, the most requests will come in to see you play horror games. Just know that's how the internet works.
Canadian Monster Closet.
Do you have any plan? Like, there's only been one game that's just been terrifying for me, and I'm like almost 30. I'm a man. I'm from South Arkansas. Like, we live out in the woods. Mm-hmm. Silent Hill. That game is
the original Silent Hill.
Fucked up. Yes.
Yes. Okay. The original Silent Hill. Yes, it's a great game, but it also looks like it's people made of 4 blocks.
That's what's terrifying.
But Silent Hill 2 and 3 still hold up really, really well.
It's very scary games.
Mm-hmm.
You still have a PS4 with a PT on it? I
do. That's definitely on the list for Monster Closet.
I can't wait for Justin to play that. That is fucking terrifying.
That don't sweat playing that game.
Yeah, that's a scary one.
God.
We're playing Outlast 2 next, which is also going to be very scary, and neither one of us are really looking forward to it. I'm going to be totally honest. I haven't played it, and so I'm not looking forward to watching it, and Justin's looking forward even less to holding the controller and actually playing it. So we're definitely going to get a face cam set up for that one, because there's going to be some screams and some jumps and some starts.
Someone that one of my friends, she worked for Red Barrel. She still works for them.
Oh.
And at Comic-Con, I was like, oh, where are you? Whatever. She's like, oh, I'm near the Black Chapel. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, come meet me. You can't miss it. So I found it eventually. And I'm like, oh, what are you promoting? Because I don't like scary games, so I don't know anything about scary games. She's like, Outlast 2 in VR. And I'm like, what?
Ugh.
Nope.
No fucking way am I going in there. She's
Nope.
like, yeah, you should go. Try it
It's
out.
like-
I'm like, no.
I'm never gonna go anywhere near Resident Evil 7 in VR. Not a chance.
And you have the game and a VR headset.
Yes,
It would be so easy for you to try it out.
I know, but I won't.
That would be a good video.
God no. God no.
But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. And we want to know what you guys want to see. You know, we're doing polls on some of the series, like what do you want to see us play next and stuff like that. My wife and I are doing a retro series as well. We played a bunch of Metroid yesterday, and then the recording was all effed up, so we have to redo it, which is always good when you redo something you've already done. It's always as spontaneous. But we're gonna keep doing that as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But let us know what you'd like to see. You know, we started the What Is series, which is if you're familiar with like Giant Bomb and their quick looks, it's sort of like that kind of thing. It's sort of like a, hey, here's a bit of a game. Here's what the game is. Here's how it plays. Here's a little bit of us playing it, just to kind of show you what these games are. That's a good place for us to do one-off things. So even if there's one-off new games you want us to take a look at, or recent games, I mean brand new games, let us know and we'll definitely check that out. You can do that. Leave us recommendations at talking_games on Twitter. You can email us games@talkingcomicbooks.com as well. But yeah, check out the Twitch, twitch.tv/talkinggames, or the YouTube, youtube.com/talkinggamesvideos. And subscribe, comment.
Soon, me and Bobby will be taking part in the Builder KELSEY workshop via Black Desert.
That's true. I forgot about this feature. Yes. So there's this MMO that came out called Black Desert Online, which has a nutso character creator, like super in depth, like ridiculous character creator. And we put on Twitter, hey, who do you want to see us build in this game? And we got one response, and that was from KELSEY, and she said me. So Hugh and I are both separately at the same time on our separate computers going to build KELSEY and then compare after we're done. So it should be a good one. We got some instructions from KELSEY on how to build her as well. So
it's just all about the eyebrows.
It's all about the eyebrows. So
and eyeliner. Don't forget, you're gonna lose
the wings.
I guess KELSEY's gonna judge at the end of the competition.
I thought that was a given. I thought I was.
Yeah, it's true.
That's better.
True.
I think we should be careful about what outfits we pick as well, because we could get in trouble with that. Yeah,
no, that game, like most MMOs, not the most savory outfits most of the time. No. So, we'll be respectful in that manner. Not so respectful in the creating of the KELSEY. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for Talking Games podcast. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Bobby Shortle. Hugh.
I am at H_Paz.
Matt.
Johnny Matt Wood.
And KELSEY.
Kelsamus, KELSSAMUS.
Yeah, so that's gonna do it. Tune in next week. Justin will be back on the show, and we'll be, I'm sure, talking about some of the games we talked about this week and some other stuff as well. And really, thank you for all the support of the video stuff. It's been really, really cool to see it start to grow, and all the kind words about the podcast and stuff on Twitter. And the reviews, leave us, Justin will kill me if I don't say this, please leave us a review on iTunes. It really helps with placement on iTunes and gets us exposure that we wouldn't have otherwise. That really is going to do it, though, for the Talking Games podcast. So until next time, thank you, Hugh.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, KELSEY.
Thank you, Bobby.
And thank you to everyone who is listening. Until next time, be good to one another.